Hi everyone, I'm Ritik. So I've been trying to do a podcast about cricket for a long time now. Finally, it's now that I have started doing it. And with me today is my friend Sai Krishna. We actually met through a mutual friend, and then we connected on social media. We are part of a cricket group where we share memes and information related to cricket. So Sai Krishna, you can tell them about yourself.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening. This is Sai Krishna. As what Ritik said is absolutely correct. We met through a mutual friend in social media. So the thing is, like, we used to share a lot of cricket memes, and we used to have some audio calls as well, discussing regarding the cricket and all the general topics. So basically, what's going on in cricket, like all throughout the world. So we basically talk a lot about cricket content. Suppose like what happened yesterday or like what's going to happen. So we both like majorly connected to cricket. So the main thing, whenever we discuss something, cricket would come us between. So we discuss a lot about like KKR, RCB. So we used to share a lot of memes. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
actually it's a very cool thing.
Yeah, so Sai Krishna's favorite team is RCB, and my favorite
Yeah.
team is KKR. So every time there's something about RCB, I share it to him, and then he shares it to me when something's about KKR that's going on. So yeah, so he's the first person that uh, came to my mind when I wanted to do a cricket podcast. So we just wanted to do a simple podcast for the first time. So yeah, so we are here.
Yeah.
Sai Krishna, first I wanted to ask you, what did you think of the game last night?
Oh, that's absolutely a messy thing. So the first thing I got into my mind is like the regarding the management. So I don't know
Yeah,
like what's happening. Suppose if you see like we are going into World Cup, right? Like hardly we have
yeah,
only couple of months time, right? I don't want to
yeah,
experiment them. So I don't know like you have already got 1 month time like after WTC.
yeah,
I don't think so. Like why we need to rest main players? What do you
yeah,
feel? I mean like even though like they've been rested for T20s, right?
yeah. So we are talking about the India versus West Indies second ODI. So what happened
Yeah,
yesterday was India bundled out for 180 odd, and then West
yeah,
Indies chased it inside 35 overs. So yeah, even I think that the management is chopping and changing a lot.
yeah.
They are not sticking to a particular 20 or 25 people. So yeah, even I have this concern that trying out too many people just gives a headache for the selectors and the captain also. So
Yeah,
what do you think? So there were two changes yesterday: resting
yeah,
Kohli and Rohit, and then
yeah,
adding Akshar and Samson. Do you think
yeah.
it's good to give a lot of players a lot of chances, or just sticking to 20, 25 players and giving them a long run?
Uh, yeah, I would agree one thing. So basically, you can do experiment. Basically, you can add a place and you can arrest the main place. But this needs to be happen in a streamlined process. Maybe like they can start doing it from the last 1 year. But it's not correct. Like if you see like hardly maybe our team India would play like a few Asia games like which was scheduled in the subcontinent, right? So
Yes.
hardly like our main players will get only few matches. Like they'll get few matches as practice. I don't think so. Like chopping the players very frequently. I don't know. Like, see, if you observe here, like Kohli didn't get much of the time in a test. I mean, so we hardly our main players got like they played very little innings. If you see, like even in the second test, Kohli didn't get a chance. And if you see, even in the first ODI, like he didn't even bat. Like maybe at that moment they were right, like giving chance to youngsters. Like they want to expose the middle order. It's absolutely a brilliant idea, but I don't think so. Like why it should happen for second ODI as well. Maybe
Yeah.
like first for the first 2 days, first 2 day 2 ODIs, they could have given priority to the main players. Maybe in the third ODI, they could have tried pushing the young players. I felt the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like yeah,
Yeah, even yesterday we saw that there wasn't a lot of experience in the batting lineup.
yeah,
If you see from the start, even like the way Hardik batted or the way Surya
yeah,
batted, who are more
yeah,
experienced than the other people, there
yeah,
were a lot of false shots. There
yeah.
was
They
a
were
lot of
giving their wicket
carelessness.
easily. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
a lot of soft dismissals as well. I think the only positive that we got out of yesterday was Ishan and Shubman scoring
yeah,
runs. Then
yeah,
again, Shubman gave his wicket away, and yeah, and
yeah,
Shardul who got like 3 wickets.
he was impressive. Yeah, I would agree
Yeah,
one thing. Like Kishan was really impressive. Even I guess like even if you see his past ODIs, he got a double hundred over there, and the
yeah,
very next moment he got dropped due to team combination. But
yes,
whenever like Ishan is getting, he was performing to his 100%. I don't think so. Like Ishan would be like he would be a permanent player. Maybe in the coming few years, we would be seeing Ishan as a permanent team player.
yeah. Yeah, so that's the problem, right? There are a lot of top order batsmen that want to play at one, two, three, but they
Yeah,
don't want to play at four, five, six
yeah,
because of the track record of India has in the last like maybe 6 or 7 years. We don't have a
that,
good solid four, five, six which can take up
yes,
the pressure when needed. So I was
yeah.
going through this one stat that uh, since 2022 we have tried 8 different people at number four, and in a
Oh,
total of 30 innings, we only have 4 half centuries. That's the
oh, that's
lowest
ridiculous.
for,
I guess
yeah,
Iyer would be the person like who would have contributed more, right? At number four.
yeah. I think he has like 1 century and 2 half centuries in that one. So yeah,
Oh,
it's such a mess right now, the chopping and changing. Yeah,
I would also like to add one more point over here. If you remember, like during our 2019 World Cup days, we used to have Amati Raidu. We have almost groomed him for more than 1 year, if you remember.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but we don't know. Like at the end, like it was completely totally messed up. Like they tried different combinations. I don't know. Like
yeah,
the management came up with Vijay Shankar at number four. So yeah, even at that time also we completely messed up at the end. Like we did some choppings and we did some experiments, but it's the main culprit like which ended up us losing in the semi-final. So it was an entire batting collapse.
yeah. I think where we got it wrong was we focused too much on the conditions, and if you remember at that time there was this whole argument going on around the six bowler.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
they
right.
wanted a guy who could bat and bowl and maybe give 5 or 6 overs.
Yeah,
So we actually didn't really have confidence in our composition, and
yeah.
we wanted to create a person who could like give 5 overs. So that's
Uh,
why Raidu had to be like taken out, and this was. I think even before the semi-final, a lot of people were saying this was not a right move,
yeah.
and even Vijay Shankar got injured. So I
Yeah, I
think
remember.
once that happened, there was a lot of confusion around the team, around the selection. So yeah, I think this time they had a lot of time to like groom people, but still, I think we are still lagging in that department of
Yeah,
number
we are
four and
still
five.
lagging, I guess. Even we are not sure about who is our number four. See,
Yeah,
like, yeah, I don't know, like maybe couple of months ago, I would say definitely Shreyas Iyer would be our number four. But
yeah,
since he's into injury, we are not sure. Like we tried Surya Kumar Yadav, and even now we are trying Sanju Samson. So
yeah,
I don't know, like what would be our number for even today? Like I think like our number five would be sorted thing. Maybe Rahul would come into team straight away, like at number five. But
yeah,
still, like regarding the number four, there would be many questions like who would play at number four?
yeah, yeah. You spoke about Sanju Samson. This
Yeah,
is, I think, the curious case of Sanju Samson has been like overshadowing lots of. Uh, I think it's been overshadowing him more than the
yeah,
chances that he's been given. So
yeah,
I
you're right.
think he hasn't been given a long run, like a 5 or 6 ODIs streak
Yeah, you're
or a good series. He hasn't been given that. He has been overall by all the talk about his position in the team, his consistency
yeah,
in
yeah.
domestic cricket. So, like, what do you think about that? Like, he does score runs, not a lot of runs in IPL, but decent amount of runs to get into the team.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
hasn't been given a lot of chances. So, what do you think
Uh,
about that?
yeah, the same thing. I would feel like the thing is like he's getting many chances. Like maybe the chances, whatever he got, right, that earned him a spot in the Indian team. But most of the time, if you see here, is like due to the team combination, he would be sitting out. Suppose maybe if you consider a 5 ODI series, like 5 T20 series,
Yeah,
he would be getting an opportunity in the last fourth or fifth T20.
yeah,
There like he will be getting one inning and he would go straight away and you need to smack.
Yeah.
He just need to create an impression in overall everyone's mind. That's a very pretty tough job because when you want a player, you need to back him. You need to back him throughoutly, like you need to give him continuously like 10 to 15 opportunities. Then you can tell him like you are not the right person. You need to go back to your domestics and you need to you need to be good over there and you need to come back here. But the thing here
Yeah.
is like it's happening like intermittently. Like he's getting chances very rarely, and he's not living up to his expectations because of his tendency. Like we can't judge a player like by one or two innings, right? So it's
Yeah.
happening like regularly.
Yeah. Like this sort of thing, even Saurav Ganguly used to be very famous for giving his players long run,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
giving them 8 or 10 games and then
yeah,
deciding after that. So I
yeah,
think this is something which separates the captaincy of Ganguly, Dhoni to
yeah,
Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. I think Ganguly and
yeah,
Dhoni were kind of people who used to give people, they used to identify people and they
yeah,
would say, this is my match winner, and they would give them a long run.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
people like Sehwag, Yuvraj, Harbhajan, Zahir, to some extent, Rohit Sharma as well. He
yeah,
has he has been able to perform because he was given chances earlier in his career.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
But after Virat's captaincy or Rohit's captaincy, I feel like the selectors and the coaches have more say in the
Yeah,
selection. So,
yeah.
do you think there's a huge contrast between Dhoni, Ganguly, and Virat Rohit's captaincy and the selection in that?
I would say one thing, maybe during Ganguly's era and Dhoni's era, there at that time, the selectors were not involved much into the team's combination, or like there was not much pressure over that time. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe like at that time, the main focus was only on teams like winning probability, like what we need to do better in order to get as a result. At that time, that was a main thing. But now if you see like if a player is performing badly like for 1 or 2 games, then straight away the question would be coming is like why do we require this particular batsman?
yeah,
See, if you observe here, if you see like Gill was performing absolutely like he was performing very well. Like if you observe his last 10 to 15 matches, okay. But when you
yeah,
see about his ODI career in the last 5 to 7 innings, he was completely like he's wasting his opportunities. Maybe he's not playing well according to his expectations. So the next question would arise. So now if you see Ishan is performing very well. If you see the first 2 matches and even the test match as well, there
yeah,
Gill failed. If you observe there the Gill failed, then absolutely the next question would be, so what if like if you go to the World Cup, what would be our team combination? Will that be Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan, or will that be Rohit, uh, Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill?
yeah,
So yeah, so these kind of erosions and like these kind of confusions and these kind of headaches would like go to like would go to coach and captain as well. So maybe due to that pressure, like they're continuously chopping the team. But
yeah,
if you remember, there was an era like 2016 to 2020, like where like if you talk about Test cricket, so if you talk about Test cricket, so Kohli used to hardly change the team.
yeah,
He has that winning set. So my opener should be Rohit Sharma. My
yeah.
opener
I
should be
think
Murli Vijay. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he had good batsmen there, but then he used to
yeah,
chop and change the ballers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember.
yeah. Maybe yeah. So if you talk about subcontinent, he used to definitely pick Ashwin and Jadeja,
Yeah,
and he used to go for 2 to 3 seamers. He has that mindset like in which condition, whom I need to pick. These things were there. Like if you talk about Test cricket, I would say absolutely yes. Yeah, coming to Test cricket, we have that mindset like whom we need to pick and what is our team. Okay, what we
yeah,
are going to get the result. But if you talk about ODI and T20, I don't know. Like nowadays, T20 cricket is absolutely we don't know. Like even I got to feel like whether it's a league match or it's a T20 match. I don't know. Like it's happening like that.
yeah. So if you remember, there was a point after COVID where everyone was given a cap, either a T20 cap or a ODI cap. I remember
Yeah,
Krunal Pandya being given a cap, Deepak Chahar,
Venkatesh Iyer.
Venkatesh Iyer was given, and then he was lauded as a all rounder for the Indian team. Then
Maybe substitute Hardik Pandya. Even I used to
yeah,
have. Yeah,
And I remember he did well in some matches,
yeah,
but then again, Hardik came in. He had to sit out.
mm, yeah,
So I think we can't really say when this will stop. We just hope it'll stop before the World Cup, and then we can have a settled 11 and then a
yeah,
15. So
yeah.
yeah,
I would
so
I would say
yeah,
one thing. Maybe if they're looking for a transition, maybe that needs to be happen in phased manner. Suppose suppose if the management wants to give up on uh, Kohli and Rohit Sharma for the T20s, they need to
yeah,
they need to make clear that okay, you guys, so we are looking for young players. We want to move on from you. They need to have this clear mindset. You just can't say like we are resting our main players and our focus is mainly on ODS and the tests. You can't say the same thing every time, right? See, like
yeah,
from the last 1 year, you're continuously dropping Rohit Sharma or Kohli to the T20 setup.
yeah,
It just be management needs to be more clear. Okay, we are just moving on from Rohit and Kohli.
yeah. So yeah, on this point, like they were rested yesterday, right? Rohit and Kohli. They
Yeah,
haven't played a lot of cricket, but still they were rested. So I think there has to be a clarity between resting a player and then moving on from a player. So I think they are not
yeah.
doing that clearly. What do you think about the resting thing, the resting
Uh,
Kohli and Rohit? I don't think they need to rest Kohli because he has really good fitness. He doesn't
yeah,
need that much of rest. So what do you think
yeah.
about this rest, and does it really affect people if they are not rested? Because then they might end up like Bumrah, who has been playing continuously for 3 or 5 years, and then maybe his body is like overloaded, and then he gets too injured. Yeah, do you think
Okay.
that happens with resting or not resting people?
No, I would say like so the players like Rohit Sharma and Kohli, you can't rest them. So when they play, ultimately the best would come out from them.
Yeah,
So what I would say is like you can't rest your main players for a long time, for a long period of time. You just need to bring their best out of them. Suppose like if you see like Kohli and Rohit Sharma, they had their WTC. Okay, post
yeah,
WTC they got 1 month period of time for rest, right? So they had 1 month rest. And talking then you have this West Indies Test series. Okay, even there like we have almost finished our test like in hardly 3 to 4 days, where we
yeah,
didn't bat throughout like where our batsmen didn't bat throughout 5 days or something like
yeah.
that.
I think we just
See,
batted one full innings. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, yeah, that's it. So if you see over there also, like we didn't do our batsmen mainly didn't do much thing. Okay, coming to
Yeah,
first ODI as well. If you see like even yeah, that's a very good thing. Like Kohli and Rohit Sharma, like they just exposed our middle order. Maybe like it's an straightforward opportunity like where we can expose our middle order batsmen, so that like how they would be taking up the pressure. It's a very good idea in the first ODI. But when you come to the second ODI, yeah, like India won the toss. I mean, I don't, I'm not sure, but the first they have played the first innings, right? It's a very good opportunity. Like our batsmen need to get exposed. Like they need to expose. Like even like they need to expose to play in the first inning. If you remember, if you see about our track record as well, uh, where like most of the games we won through chasing only
chasing. Yeah,
in the last 10 years. Yeah, in the last
yeah,
10 years, if you consider, like, I guess almost around 75% we won through chasing only. Okay.
yeah. We had
So,
players like Virat Kohli, Dhoni, and
yeah,
really good players who
Dhawan,
would
even I would
chase.
say Dhawan
Yeah,
as well. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and also
So the thing,
yeah, yeah. You're saying,
yeah, that's the same thing. So what I was expecting is like you need to consider every match as an opportunity rather than with whom you are playing. You just need
yeah,
to bring out your best so that you can perform better in the big tournaments. But
yeah,
I don't know, like maybe I don't know, like basically what's going on in the management mind. Hardly if you see there would be next third ODI. Okay, so
yes,
the next series would be coming up would be with Ireland. Okay, so there anyhow our main players would not be going over there as well. So the only
yeah,
thing left over was is with Sri Lanka, that is with Asia Cup, which was scheduled in Sri Lanka. So hardly, I guess there you would be getting around 4 to 5 matches. Okay, even we don't know there, like it's a rainy season in Sri Lanka. We can't predict the weather over there at that time. So it's very tough. Like we would be not getting much opportunity like going into World Cup.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
like at least they would have considered like playing for the second ODI and third as well.
yeah. I think now maybe they have to go back to Dhoni and sorry, Rohit and Virat in the third ODI
Yeah, yeah,
to win the series. Actually, it
yeah.
will it will be interesting to see if they go back to them or they just
I
continue with
guess
Hardik as a
absolutely.
captain.
I know. I guess like Rohit and Kohli would be coming back to the setup, team setup. Maybe
Yeah,
I would see Akshar would be leaving, and even maybe Sanju Samson or Surya. They would be resting. They might rest Surya as well. We don't know why,
yeah,
because they would be playing continuously the other five T20s, and even like Surya would be going to Ireland, right? Maybe
yeah.
they might rest Surya, and they would give one more chance to Sanju Samson. This is what I
Uh,
think.
have you noticed something? Ever since people started praising Surya for being the next De Villiers or being the next big thing in T20s, he hasn't really
Yeah.
performed in ODI cricket. He has been
No, like
given a lot of chances, but he hasn't performed well in ODI cricket. Have you noticed
I
that?
feel like he's not yet fully into ODI cricket. Even from the first innings, like till date, he didn't even perform. Like maybe there would be one innings, right? Yeah, he performed exceptionally well, right? If you talk about T20, we can take his name throughout. Like there are many number of innings, but when
Yeah,
it comes to ODI, like he's still not into ODI cricket as well. Even if you remember, I guess like once he also been called to test team, if you remember, like I
yeah,
guess it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
fifth.
yeah. It was in
It's
England. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So I don't know, like see, like if a player is very good in one format, you can stick that player to that one format. Maybe like going forward, you can adapt that player into multiple formats. Maybe
yeah,
if you talk about Joe Root, okay. If you talk about Joe Root, okay, he's very good in Test cricket, okay. So England management is very clear, okay, about
yes,
Joe Root, okay. Yeah, they'll stick him to Test and ODI cricket. Okay,
yeah,
so they are very clear about his position. And coming to ODI setup, they are also very clear who are all our players, who we need to back, what is our main strength. Okay, so
yes,
I guess like even Shreyas Iyer his mental situation would also be not good, because going forward, if you see like he's coming back from the injury. Okay,
yeah.
before his
He
injury,
he
yeah,
won't have
he
confidence
performed
in
very
his
well.
place. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely correct. Actually, like I don't know, like what would happen. We'll see. Like most probably, I think like Shreyas would be straight away will bat at number four. Maybe Sky would be a backup option to Iyer. Need
yeah,
to see like what happens.
yeah. I just saw a stat about Surya Kumar Yadav today. It said that in 18 innings he hasn't scored a 50. So that
Okay,
is the most after Suresh Raina, who didn't score a 50 in 18 innings from 2010 September to 2011 September.
I don't know. Like
So
maybe our Indian management is backing him a lot. I don't know like
yeah,
what. Maybe there are a lot of number four batsmen in our country. Maybe even if you talk about, I would say Nitish Rana. Like
yeah,
he's also a very super batter. Like he has a very good record in the domestics. There are many batter who could bat fearlessly, and they can come out naturally at number four. But maybe
yeah,
I don't know like why our team management is sticking Sky at four. Maybe we need to see. Maybe if you don't find any answers like in coming few days at most probably he would be selected for Asia Cup as well as World Cup. Maybe
yeah,
if he would have been given chances like more we don't know, like we might see him dropping in like post World Cup. Just we need to
yeah.
see like what happens. Yeah.
And then there is this case of the injured players that we have. There's Pant, there's Bumrah, there's Iyer, uh,
Yeah.
there's Rahul.
Yeah.
So I personally think that Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, and Bumrah will be in the ODI team for the World
Yeah.
Cup. I still
Yeah.
have concerns over like the health issues of Rishabh
Of
Pant,
fun.
but
Yeah.
yeah. So I still think that Iyer will be our number four because he
Yeah.
has been doing that job for a couple of years now. And then Rahul is
Yeah.
a senior member of the team, and
Number five.
Bumrah.
Yeah.
We definitely need Bumrah in our
Yeah.
own conditions. So, what do you think about these injured players? Do you see them coming straight back into the team?
Yeah, they would absolutely come straight away into our team. As you said, right? Like Iyer would be our number four, and KL Rahul would be our number five, and Bumrah would be our main key seamer, along with the likes of Siraj. I don't know like
Yeah,
whether they would continue with Shami, or like they would bring some new talent like Shardul Thakur. Because the thing is like we'll be playing in our subcontinent conditions, right?
yeah,
So maybe even our team would go with two spinners, like maybe Kuldeep, or like maybe depending upon the pitch, like Chennai, they would also bring Chahal into the picture.
yeah,
We need to see, but the thing is like I don't. One thing I would like to add over here is like I don't want to rush Bumrah straight into the setup. Actually, I've seen few reports circulating. Is like Bumrah would play with versus Ireland. So I said right, like we have few T20s in coming month, right? Like where India would be traveling to Ireland for I guess like 2 to 3 T20s. I'm listening reports like Bumrah would play over there. The
yeah,
thing is like if you remember previously also we were rushing upon him before
yeah,
T20 World Cup. If you
yeah,
remember,
yeah, yeah,
uh, yeah, at that time also we did a rush over him, and we absolutely lost him during the World Cup, if you remember.
yeah,
So I don't know,
yeah,
like maybe if Bumrah was there in Australia, it would have been absolutely different scenario. Like Bumrah playing the World Cup, and maybe we don't know. Like we might have ended up winning even the semi final. I mean, like we might have maybe at least we would have gone to semi-finals or finals as well. Things were I don't know. Like we need to. So the one thing I would tell here is like the NCA management. You know, right? Like National Cricket Academy, like which is at Bangalore, which will be keenly
yeah,
monitoring the injury, like who are all injured, they'll be keenly monitoring, right? So
yes,
they are the persons who are responsible for that Bumrah case as well. So maybe they need to take into clear consideration like whether is he 100% fully fit to go and get a game, or like he still needs to get rehabilitation. So maybe I would feel maybe Pant would be coming around South Africa series, or maybe we have one South Africa series right at the end of year. I
yeah,
think maybe around November December we have one South Africa series. Maybe I think Pant would be coming at that time. So coming about other three players, maybe they would straight away get into our team setup, team lineup through this Asia Cup.
yeah. And I just hope that they quickly is like finalize on a 11 or 15 and then
Uh,
stick
I
to it.
guess uh, I guess August 20 something, I guess August 3rd or 4th week is the last deadline where you need to
Oh,
submit your 15 to ICC.
oh, but then
Yeah,
India always does this thing like they send out a player in form of official, right? They sent out Dhaval Kulkarni as the I think it was an official in form of an official, but then he was replaced as the 15th player when someone got injured in the 2015 World Cup. So India
oh,
always has these kind of tricks up their sleeve, and also it's in
yeah,
India. So even if you want someone to like quickly get on a plane and come directly to the camp, even that's possible. But yeah,
yeah,
as you said, we there are still doubts over some players. I'm sure there are like talks going around in the back, and I hope just that they take good decisions this time.
yeah, absolutely right. And even the thing would be the major thing I would talk about here is like injury concern. So as you have taken this thing, right, injury, if you see our previous players like Sachin, they had very prolonged careers. I mean, they have served our nation over 20 years of cricket. Okay,
Yeah,
even if you see Virat Kohli, I don't know like whether even once also he never got injured. Even if you talk
yeah,
about Rohit Sharma as well, he had minor injuries. Okay, but if you talk about Rahul, I don't know. Like now and then, I would say a lot regarding him. Like he is injuring a lot. Even Shreyas Iyer as well. Uh,
uh, yeah. I
what do
think
you think?
it's
Like where is the main? I don't know. Like what is the main thing? Like where are we are going? I mean, are we going in the wrong direction, or like are we pressurizing our body more like in order to fit? What do you think about this thing?
so. I think that India is playing too many matches these days, and
Okay.
because there's also IPL now, and it's not
Yeah,
only 54 games, league games. It's actually 72 league games now. So
yeah,
it puts more pressure on the bodies of the players. And if you notice, not a lot of people take leave from the IPL. Even if they are injured, even if there's
yeah,
some niggles, they still play the IPL because
yeah.
we have to respect that they are getting huge
This
amount of
fans.
money.
Yeah,
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 but the management has to notice that there are a lot of matches that are being played right after the IPL, right before the IPL. There isn't a window where they can fully rest, so they are only like couple of weeks of time between series. And also, if you see, the window for overseas series has been limited to 3 years now from 4 years. So
okay,
there
yeah,
are like back to back four test matches, 5 test matches. And if
yeah,
you see, a lot of top players play all three formats. We don't have a system
yeah.
where, like in England, where we
England, yeah, absolutely.
assign players for different formats. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's the reason, part of the
yeah.
reason. Yeah,
But one thing I would say is like England management is very clear, like who they all want in their setup. Suppose
yeah,
if you talk about Wood, okay, they're very clear, like okay, Wood is our main ODI or T20 player. Maybe if you recently observe, like he is also getting picked up in tests, okay. But if you talk
yeah,
about Root, okay, they are very clear that okay, Root is our main test player, okay. Yeah, he would come into a ODI picture. It's a secondary thing, okay. Okay,
yes,
they're completely they are known that like they are completely moved from what we say like T20 franchise cricket. Okay,
yeah,
I guess even like they were very clear about Broad and Anderson. Okay, they gave them a long run up in Test cricket. Okay, they completely moved. If you observe, like I guess like last time, I don't know like when Anderson and Broad played their ODI or T20. I guess it's in
uh,
2015 or 2011 World Cup.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember.
I think it was in
Yeah.
15 World Cup. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the last time. Still, they didn't give up their retirement, but
yeah,
they have completely moved on. Maybe even our management also need to come up with things like they were expecting this. They were expecting this structure. Okay, like they want their players in this format. Uh, you can't say like coming into every series and you can't say like yeah we have rested Kohli and we have rested Rohit Sharma. We can't say the same thing every statement every series, right?
yeah,
Maybe we need to see like now Ajit Agarkar is our new selection committee, right? I mean he's a new selection member, right? He's a president, right? President of selection, new selection committee member, right? Maybe
yes.
we need to see like how it would go. Like we need to see like whether we are going to see any new structure or like will it be the same thing whatever we have experienced in the last 10 years. We'll see.
Uh, yeah, I just hope everything gets sorted out because
Yeah,
there are a lot of people doing good in IPL.
yeah,
So there's this urge to like get them straight into the team. If you see
yeah,
the example of Yashasvi Jaiswal, he's also performed in domestic cricket as well,
yeah.
but the
You're right.
performance in IPL gets a lot more attention. And I
Yeah,
think that's why he's been like fast tracked into the testing because he did really
yeah,
well in this IPL. But
yeah,
then what happens is people like Ruturaj Gaikwad, people like Sarfraz Khan, people
yeah.
like if you see to some
Even
extent,
Rinku Singh
yeah,
as well. He also performing well in the domestic. Yeah,
yeah, these players get left out. It's not entirely their fault, but
the
yeah, I
structure.
think yeah,
Maybe I would say one thing here is like even the management. I would see I've seen like cricketers like they were treating like I remember like one of the ex-cricketer he even tweeted right now what is the use of Ranji
domestic cricket,
Irani
yeah,
Cup, yeah, the
yeah,
Tulip Trophy, like what is the use
yeah,
of these things? If you are straight away picking up a cricket based on your IPL performance, then what is the use of these all these things? So it's just like earning some part time, like is it like earning kind of a part time job? It doesn't make any
yeah,
sense, right? You are performing well. I would absolutely feel for Sarfaraz Khan. Okay, I don't know, like maybe even if he was been picked up in the team, okay, team 15. I don't know, like whether he would get chance or not, but at least he deserves to get into team 15.
yes,
The same thing we were discussing, right? Like Sky was given a call to England, like they call
yeah,
him as a backup, right? I don't know, like what's wrong? Like did Sarfaraz, like what's something like what wrong did Sarfaraz did? Like he was playing absolutely right. If you see about his average, he's maintaining very well. If you see about
yeah,
his strike rate, or I don't know, like what is the main thing, like I don't know, like even our management, or like they need to come forward, and they need to express something. Okay, why we are not picking up this player? Okay, we need to give proper
yeah.
explanation. I
I
see,
think,
like yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I feel like they are backing certain players like KL Rahul, players like Surya Kumar
Unatkar, I
Yadav.
would, yeah, I would say
Yeah,
one more player name is Unatkar. If you
yeah,
observe recently, he performed exceptionally. Okay, so based upon his domestic performance, he got a call straight away into testing. Okay,
yeah,
now he was also being picked up for ODI series as well.
yeah,
Yeah, management is keeping eye on few of the people, but I don't know, like few players like Sarfraz Khan, they performed exceptionally well, exceptionally. Even I see tweets from Nitish Rana as well, like he performs well, he keeps on
yeah,
performing well, but I don't know, like
yeah.
it's
I
very
think
hard to pick up. Yeah,
I think he took 3 wickets day before yesterday in a domestic match,
yeah, yeah.
and someone was
Even
tweeting that he should be given the opportunity as the sixth bowler or the middle
yeah,
order batter. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I guess like probably I would say I would pick if you see, maybe if you I don't like to compare between two players. Maybe their kind of player, like their style is completely different. Okay, if
yeah,
you compare two players like Nitish Rana and Washington Sundar, okay, I would definitely pick Nitish Rana. Uh, I mean, because like the kind of uh, he's the first thing is he's a left-hander. Okay, like he performs very well. He'll come into picture like whenever you require him to ball, right? And even he's like fit. Okay, he'll run fast and he's very good in outfield as well. But when you talk about Sundar, like I don't want to compare, but the thing is like our management kept a lot. Okay, I mean, our management has backed Sundar a lot,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, I see. But the thing what happened is like he is continuously getting injured, and maybe I don't know, like our management would also need to come up with a few things, like maybe you need to consider a player like if he's 100% fit, or like uh, if he's very good enough to take his position to a next level. Maybe we
yeah.
need to consider all these things.
Yeah, I think they moved on from Washington Sundar to Akshar Patel.
Akshar Patel,
Because,
yes, you are
yeah,
right.
but he's been performing really well. I think he's the second highest run getter in Test for India this year, something
WTC,
like that.
test. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Even
because
I
he
observed.
scored runs in India versus Australia series.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah,
The every time whenever our main pylon, like the main top order, was getting failed, right, he was the main savior to our team.
and also he plays half of his test in Ahmedabad, so that really helps him. And I remember
Yeah.
him getting Bairstow out 6 times when they
Yeah.
came to India. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, speaking of Bairstow, I wanted to talk about this one incident in Ashes.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the runout incidents of
Yeah.
Bairstow?
Absolutely. Like that
I'll just
really went. Yeah.
I'll just
That
pull up the
absolutely went.
picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this one.
Yeah, yeah, that absolutely went. I mean, it was become a viral thing coming
Yeah,
into picture. Like whether it's a what would is it a gentleman game? Whether you need to stick to the rules, or you need to show your gentlemanness in order to not make him out. Uh, According to me, what would I say is like the thing which was happened in Bairstow's case. Maybe I don't know, like whether I guess Carey have warned him multiple times. You're just
yeah,
living, you're popping grease like frequently. You need to be in your grease. Otherwise, maybe I would need to take my hand and I would do this thing. I guess like that thing have already happened. Okay,
yeah.
maybe batsman should
No,
be a little bit. Yeah.
no, I don't think he did warn him. He didn't warn him.
Okay.
He was just noticing that he was leaving his crease far too often, so he just silently like threw the ball.
Okay, but
And there was
according
this,
to me, yeah.
yeah, and there was this one news that previous test, even Bairstow had tried to do the same to Carey.
Kiri.
Yeah,
Okay, good. According to me, what I would suggest is like it. It's according to rules. It's according to the rule only. But what I
yeah,
would say, being a bowler or being a opponent team, I would not take that opportunity to make the batsman out. I
Yeah,
would I would go and straight away ball him, or I'll try to get him LBW out by doing different combinations. This would be the mind. This would be the first thing. But the thing here would be, at least like, if the keeper, there would be some extent like where the keeper would be warning him, like, you are
yeah,
leaving your popping grease multiple times. Maybe if you are not going to do, if you are going to repeat the same thing, maybe the action would be something different. Maybe
yeah,
I would be, if I would be in Carey's place, I would have do the same thing. Like, maybe I would have warned him multiple times. At last, I would
yeah.
have taken the
I,
opportunity.
in my opinion, it was all right because
Yeah,
it's in the rule books. Even if I
yeah,
was in Kerry's position, I would have just run him out without giving him a warning. The problem I
yeah,
have in this situation is it's Australia. If it would have been any other team, I would have just let it go. But it's Australia that has done it. And if you remember, Australian people always try to take moral high ground and they say that man cutting is, we shouldn't call it man cutting, we should call it a run out. And they
runout.
say
Yeah,
that run out is not a legitimate dismissal. Even Ricky Ponting had said Ashwin not to do this when he was in Delhi
during the
Capitals.
DC, right? Yeah, during
Yeah,
DC
so
time.
I have this problem with Australian cricketers that they say that it's a gentleman's game, but here the situation was advantageous for them, so they just took the advantage of it. So my problem
Yeah,
is, if I was there as a reporter, I would have asked Pat Cummins the exact same question of why do they choose to say it's a gentleman's game when it's in their favor, when it's convenient for them.
that's a
Uh,
really nice question, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
they always try to blame it on other people. They say that
yeah.
we don't play it as a gentleman's game, and they
Spirit.
always say
Yeah,
that, yeah, yeah. I just had this one problem with Australian cricketers and Australian media.
yeah. The main thing over there is like, their media gets involved very much. I mean, if you observe like their media, I don't know. I mean, lately, like, I came to know that our media, I would feel like our media is the worst one. But later I came to know is their media is the worst one. They'll quickly get involved in to media. Even if you remember one thing, they hyper this a lot, and even their prime ministers got involved by exchanging
Yeah,
a few things, right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
should, yeah,
I think that's what happens when, uh, yeah, even in the sandpaper gate
yeah,
like era, they used to
yeah,
blame their own cricketers. So I think they are very
yeah,
passionate at their heart. They are very
yeah,
aggressive. So I think that
yeah,
comes out even in the media. Yeah. But
yeah.
apart from like
And
the whole controversy, yeah, you were saying something?
no, no, I just want to bring up one point. So the
Yeah.
thing which was happened in the Bairstow case, did you remember regarding Ian Bell's dismissal in the past
Yeah.
where,
Yeah. When Dhoni recalled him, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
I
yeah,
think that
what,
there's a
yeah, what do
there's a
you feel
huge
about that?
there's a huge difference between someone like a Dhoni and someone like a Pat Cummins. Because Dhoni had the leadership group was then Rahul Dravid, Sachin, Lakshman.
Yeah,
They wouldn't have uh, let this happen because they knew,
yes,
because they played 15, 20 years of cricket as a
yeah,
gentleman. So I would
yeah,
expect them to like take back the appeal. But here it's a new era. Everything
yeah,
is like okay now. Even I would say it's okay to run him out. It's okay to run the non-striker
yeah,
out. But I think back then there were some misconceptions about the actual spirit of the game. So I
yeah,
guess
yeah, right.
both of them are okay.
Yeah, both of them are absolutely
Yeah.
okay. It depends upon the conditions. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
yeah, team environment. It matters a lot.
I just think it matters in Twitter because people keep on reposting stuff on social media, but
Yeah,
keep it inside the ground and everything would be fine.
yeah. Even I see like few people like Ben Stokes and Harsha Bugler, they got involved in tweeting regarding this thing multiple times. The same
Yeah.
thing, man kidding or whatever you call it. So they run out
Yeah.
or something. They keep on talking about this thing multiple times.
Yeah.
And and even one thing I would remember like during this year IPL. if you remember, like Harshal Patel got an opportunity,
Yeah,
he got
but
an
he didn't.
opportunity.
Yeah, but he
He
didn't do
missed
it.
it. Yeah,
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 I missed
he
it. Yeah,
missed it. I mean, he was intentional to do it, but he
yeah,
missed it. So, what's your take on that? Because if you see Twitter, there was hell of responses saying that he did something wrong, or we should not do that. It's a very bad trick, or like something they were telling. Right? What's your take on that? Basically,
no, no. I just think if you have an opportunity to run out the non-striker, you should do it. Because if he is like taking an extra step, then he is cheating.
yeah,
I just have that
yeah,
view.
yeah,
That's it. I fully
yeah,
support like running out the non-striker.
yeah. Uh,
And like speaking about this whole situation and like Bairstow and Australia and England, what do you think about the Ashes? Like
Ashes.
this
It's
Ashes?
a the one thing which we are missing currently in Test cricket is absolutely Ashes. Like it's completely fulfilling the gap. Suppose
Yeah,
the main, yeah, I would say is there was a time like where we used to feel like okay, the franchise cricket will be going to rule the entire cricket. Okay, then we'll see BGT, we'll see this Ashes. Upon seeing this series, we feel like yeah, Test cricket is still alive. Still, Test cricket is
yeah,
still alive. I absolutely loved this culture, like the Ashes series. It's not straight away, like it came into picture like from so many years, right? So every time they show their 100% aggression in the field. If you talk about the way like the England came, like the way the England came. Suppose
yeah,
if you see like the first, they lost the first two tests, okay? They
yeah,
came into picture from the third test, even the fourth test as well. They were on the verge of winning the test as well, but
yeah,
unfortunately, due to the
yeah.
climate over there,
Uh,
it
I
ended up
think,
in a draw
yeah, I think they totally would have won that Test match if it wasn't for
easily.
the rain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
I think
if you see,
even this Test, I think they are going to win. It's the
yeah,
fourth and fifth day now, I guess.
I guess
So
when it's a pretty tough. Like chasing 350 plus in England is absolutely it's a tough one, tough thing.
yeah,
Until and unless some magical thing happens, it's straight
yeah,
away like it's a easy win to England. Anyhow, Australia will retain the Ashes. Means I
yeah,
mean during the last Ashes series they won, right? So maybe England would be really happy picking up with 2-2. The way they come up, they came back, right?
yeah,
Losing the first two tests and yeah, so England is playing currently their best cricket. Like the way they transformed the Test cricket into whatever they call this baseball, right? Baseball something.
yeah,
Yeah. So they were clear about their plans. So they are very clear. Like if they play fearlessly, out of 10 games, they know that they would be going to fail in 1 or 2 games, but
yeah.
they are sticking to that thing. Yeah.
Even they say that they don't want any drawn matches. They just want a win or lose situation.
Yeah.
So they are
Yeah.
taking draw out of the Test matches. So that's why
I guess
they,
even the fourth test also the first test, right? In Brendan McCullum and Stokes era, where they got their first test as draw. I mean, like I've read
yeah,
this stat somewhere.
yeah, I think, yeah, that was the first time they got a Test match to draw. Otherwise,
Yeah,
there was either a win or a loss.
win or loss.
So
Yeah,
I remember one test where they scored. I think it was 416 or something on the first
yeah,
day,
yeah,
400 or 500, something like that.
yeah. Something 400, I guess. Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
around 400 plus. Yeah,
they are consistently scoring at 5 and over, 4.5 and over.
4.5. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
and so
really nice thing.
yeah, I think the main players being Harry Brook, people like Harry Brook, people like Ben Stokes, and then there's
Yeah.
Root, whose strike rate would be around 50, but he's been going at 80, 85 now.
70. Yeah, he's going
Yeah,
around 70 plus. Yeah. And one more thing, what I would say is see, like last time when England toured India, right? Like maybe without Brendan McCullum at that
yeah,
time, if you observe over there, they used to have openers like Dominic Sibley, Hasib Hamid. Okay,
and
at
there
that
was
time,
Rory Burns. Yeah,
yeah, at that time they don't have the clarity like what is their opening combination. They used to
yeah,
fail every time. But now whatever they got right now, Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, or Oli Pop coming into picture. So all these players they're absolutely playing at their level best. I mean I don't know like going forward maybe this would be the straightforward combination. Previously, they used to have Alistair Cook, right? Andrew
Yeah.
Strauss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the generation over this in these players. Maybe these players could get a long run. Even they are contributing. Even they are contributing not only to their team performance. Even they are fascinated over baseball, whatever you say, right?
Yeah.
They are even playing around strike rate around like 80 to 90. So every player like they have their own thing. Maybe even I saw Root. Suppose everyone so whenever everyone are getting failed, he's sticking to the wicket. He's
Yeah.
respecting the conditions. He's respecting the
Yeah.
conditions. Yeah,
I think
I don't
I
know.
think
Yeah,
he's one person who like holds the batting together because he's someone
yes,
who can like put his bat down and play the entire day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess
And
like
I think
nowadays his curse has been got removed. I guess previously he used to have a lot of what we say 50s. Now he's very good. He's
yeah.
getting converted those 50s to hundreds.
Yeah, I think by the time Virat Kohli got like one century in test matches, he got 12 or 13 in this entire time
Yes, you're right.
from
Yes,
COVID
you're right.
to yeah now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, he's playing absolutely at his best. Uh, yeah, like England is playing very good brand of cricket, good amount of cricket. If you talk about their openers, they are contributing. Their number three, even the inclusion of Moeen Ali into Test format, it's a
Yeah.
very pretty interesting. Where we can say like maybe if you get Jack Leach, you're killing your one pacer, right?
Yeah.
But if you bring in Moeen Ali, you can
Moeen Ali.
still
Yeah.
go to Oli Robinson, or you can go to what we say Mark Wood. You have plenty of
Yeah.
options. Chris Stokes, so they have plenty of options to choose their seamers. So inclusion of Moeen Ali, uh, like Ben Stokes. So what I would say one thing is like Ben Stokes, he absolutely step in like whenever his team need
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I see him headingly test. If you remember, there he singing handedly
Yeah.
won the match with Jack Leach. There I
Yeah.
saw him.
Even like the third test, I guess. The
Yes,
second test,
yeah,
sorry.
you're right.
The second he
Yeah,
almost
second.
won it. He almost
Yes.
won it then the
I
match.
don't know,
Yeah.
like I thought maybe he's repeating the same thing,
Yeah, even I
the
thought
thing
that,
which
yeah.
we observed. Yeah,
And that
it's
was even
absolutely
harder.
carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he scored around 150 or something in the second
Yes, you're
test.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. I mean, he's a big man. Like he steps up
Big
whenever
match player,
the
yeah.
teams. Yeah, big match. Even during the World Cup, also he played a very important innings, right, in the final.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a runnable innings, but it was very difficult to predict.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the way like they won the 2019 World Cup, you can
Yeah.
talk about that extra bonus run or
Yeah.
whatever you call, but
I
he
think
was the main player. Yeah,
you can do a separate episode for that single match for that final.
yeah, single. Yeah, we can keep on talk
Talking
regarding
about
that
that.
match. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I think what's happening in England right now around the test format, it's
yep.
basically very. I think there's a lot of clarity in the thought process after arrival of Brendan McCullum.
Yes,
I
you are
think
right.
they have stuck to a certain players and they have given them a role. They aren't
Yep.
concerned about their like strike rates, averages or stuff. They just want them to go out there and play the natural games. That's why you see players like Harry Brook, who are predominantly like one day players, but they
Yeah,
are playing
he's
in test.
performed
You
perfectly
have
well.
Wood. Yeah, so I guess they are bringing in players who do something, who make things happen in test
Even
cricket.
yeah,
Yeah,
even they're backing up their main players. Like if you observe here, me being as a captain, I would straight away drop Anderson. What would you say?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think they are going.
They're
They're
backing him,
going.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're still backing. Yeah,
If you
yeah.
observe here,
Personally,
yeah.
I would have dropped him a couple of matches earlier, but still, they
If you
are
observe,
going strong with him.
I read a stat over there, like in this series, like where Joe Root and Anderson, they both have same number of wickets
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
in this series.
I think
Yeah.
they have a lot of time for him because he's someone. If you get a if you get a shower, even for like 15 minutes, and you get in
Yeah, he would
Anderson
straight
the
away
next
swing
hour,
the ball
he
both the
could
ways.
straight
Yeah,
away swing and he could get like two or three top wickets.
yeah.
But I think what has been really positive for them is Stuart Broad's form that has really
Uh,
helped them. Otherwise,
yes, you
it
are right.
would have fallen apart, the bowling attack.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
felt like yesterday when I saw this news, like Stuart Broad has announced his retirement. I
Yeah,
don't know, like some people, maybe when they're giving their best, I don't know, like why people give a retirement. I saw this like with many players as well. I would recall few moments, like couple of moments, like even if you remember Brendan McCullum,
yeah,
he gave his retirement before to the 2016 T20 World Cup.
yeah. No, no. So what happened was Brendan McCullum and Michael Clarke, both of them had the same injury. It was the back injury. So because Brendan McCullum was a wicketkeeper, he used to have this extreme pain in his back, and he used
Okay,
to take painkillers in between overs in the drinks break.
okay,
So every match he
okay,
would play, he would have like two or three painkillers in between the match. And I think
okay.
I remember one time he said that if he didn't retire back then he wouldn't have been able to like lift his daughter up because it was
Oh my
so
God.
painful for
Actually,
him.
this I didn't
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
because
good
he
thing
was
actually.
the wicket keeper all his life, right,
At
in
that
New
time,
Zealand.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
but still he did manage to play for another 2 or 3 years in the franchise cricket.
Yeah, I would remember him playing over ICT and yeah,
Yeah. I think
yeah,
people from smaller countries like New Zealand, Zimbabwe, they tend to prolong their career using franchise cricket to get
yeah, you're right.
financially
You're
stable.
right. I
Yeah.
would pick up one player who is Trent Bolt. Yeah, he's
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yes,
He has. I think he just picked up 4 wickets in the American League.
yes, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the one who is currently focusing on franchisee cricket. He,
Yeah.
he made his mind very clear. He has talked to his board. He told that he don't want his central contract. He was very
Yeah.
clear with
Yeah.
his board. Yeah, he don't want any central contract. Maybe
Yeah.
if he wants to play, he would straight away come into picture like WTC or World Cup something. They have a
Yeah.
clear mindset. One thing I would really like about New Zealand cricket is like they don't they don't create much pressure in the field. I
Yeah.
mean, they don't, what we say, like, if you see about 2019 sorry, the other 2021 WTC, right? They were very calm in the field.
Yeah.
You, at that time, like, we were pressuring ourselves very much. Like, our batsman needs to, like, play very well. I don't know, like, when I saw Ross Taylor and Kane Williamson, they were playing very freely and calmly. They were like, oh, we are playing another bilateral series.
Yes.
They were not even that much into pressure, like, oh, we are playing the final, or we are already have one bad experience over 2019 World Cup. They didn't even bother about that. They were very calm and cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that would be the main success regarding their journey, I guess.
I, I think New Zealand is a very great example of collective performance. They don't
Yeah,
rely on a single bowler or a single player or a single all
yeah,
rounder. They don't even have like two or three superstars. They have a team of 11 who know
yeah,
their role, they perform
yeah,
accordingly, and you
yeah.
won't see them celebrating like too much.
That's the main thing. Like,
Yeah,
I was fascinated, like, why these players were not even getting celebrated, like, during the
I think
the 21 WTC, right?
I think Neil Wagner might be the only guy celebrating there. Otherwise, everyone
Yeah,
would just take the wicket and go back to the bowling mark. So I guess
yeah,
like keeping calm, like people
yeah,
like Ross Taylor who have a lot of experience, and then people
yeah.
like Kane Williamson who are like generally very calm. They bring a
Calm in
lot of
nature, yeah,
the sense of safety for the middle order and the lower order. And if you see
yeah,
the lower order, it isn't great because there are people like
yeah,
Santner and like Colin DeGrandum who aren't proper batters, but they still chip in with like 20, 25, 30 runs. So I think
yeah.
that's a really great example of a good team which contributes from every aspect of the game.
Even one thing I would tell is like, if you see, our India is playing a regular cricket. I mean,
Yeah,
now and then we are playing continuously. But if
yeah,
you talk about New Zealand, see, currently
yeah.
they're not playing anything. They'll come silently into the World Cup and they'll kill our team. I mean, like, they'll perform exceptionally well against, mainly especially against India.
Yeah, they don't have this burden of like public expectation
Yes, you're
and
right.
pressure from their board. They have a really good schedule where they go out, like enjoy their private life, they rest a bit, and then they come
Yeah,
into the scene and they perform really well. So I think there's a really good clarity around the scheduling from the board,
yeah,
which
yeah.
allows them to like switch on and switch off very easily.
even the people over there, like they consider cricket as a sport
Yeah,
rather than our people, we consider it as a religion. Maybe like
yeah,
we create a lot of pressure, right? Like the straight away from picking up the team to
yeah,
getting going towards a match. Like everywhere we talk about many views. Like we say he's the best. We say he's the best. We need to do if if he gets failed, we talk about many things, right? But
yeah,
I don't know. Coming to New Zealand, they're very pretty straight and simple. They have that clarity. Okay, we'll go. We'll give our 100% in the field.
yeah,
If we win, it's a win. If we lose, it's a lose.
yeah. I
This is
think,
what I've seen even during the 2019 World Cup as well.
yeah, I think because it's a smaller country, there are lesser people. They
Yeah,
they value the communal aspect of it more. Like it's just a sport. You're there to give your
yeah,
best. If it happens, it happens. Otherwise, we are there to support you. I think the
yeah,
fans are a great example of like communal viewing, communal entertainment. But
yeah,
on the other side, there are Indians who feel like they should win every match. If you don't perform
yeah,
in every match, there are a lot of criticisms, and everyone
yeah.
is a guru here. So
Yeah,
yeah,
everyone is a guru. That's absolutely correct. I just want to ask you one thing.
yeah,
So, as we are in the transition phase, right? Maybe I would say maybe in couple of years we may not see the likes of Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli. So,
yeah.
what do you think about their future? Future, like, I mean, where do you see Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli in coming few years? Like, what's your opinion
So
on that? Like,
so straight away, I see Virat Kohli playing the 2027 World Cup.
that's a nice thing.
I have
2027, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have no doubt he'll be playing that one for sure. About Rohit Sharma, I don't know, like because his
He will be
fitness
40,
isn't.
I guess, right? I guess at that time he will be 40 plus, I guess. Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, yeah. But even at this age, at 35, 36, he isn't that great he isn't in great shape.
Yeah.
And if you see now, he is getting injured now and then. He is resting a bit
Yeah.
in the IPL.
Yeah. I
So
saw him during IPL as well. Yeah.
I guess he might play the
His
2024
last
World
World
Cup.
Cup.
Maybe the 24
2000.
T20 World Cup, maybe,
Oh,
but that's it,
okay.
I guess. Or maybe he
Oh,
could like prolong it to 2025 Test
Champions
Championship.
Trophy. And even we have a Champions Trophy in
Oh,
Pakistan, right? 2025.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
So maybe
I,
I don't see him playing in 2026.
2027 World Cup.
No, no,
What
no
about
2026.
2025 Champions Trophy in
May,
Pakistan, which was scheduled?
yeah, maybe he might be able to make it, but then again, he needs a lot of rest in between those series and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah,
Maybe, I don't know, maybe at that time, maybe our management would also be clear that if you are picking up a player for 2025 Champions Trophy, definitely he needs to be there for 27 World Cup. They need to be clear minded, right? Either you need to move on from a player or like if you're going to give a support to a player, you have to give support to him till 2027
yeah,
because it's a 4 year process, right? I mean, basically, World Cup is a 4 year. So, suppose like if India is going to lose this year's World Cup, so their mindset needs to be like their next 4 years. What's their plan? Who are all
yeah.
the players they need to keep in their backlog? Where they can try on different players. Okay, maybe what about T20 cricket?
Uh, that's the
I
thing,
mean,
right? We have
both
already
Rohit
moved
Sharma and
on.
Virat Kohli.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we have moved on from both of them in T20. Already Hardik is leading the side, so I don't think
yeah.
them coming to the T20I format. So I just think he might be able to play the ODI format till 2025, Rohit Sharma. And then I think Virat
Okay,
Kohli will be playing the 2027 World Cup. But a
okay.
lot depends on the this World Cup.
Fitness.
This World Cup,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's absolutely correct. Even
Yeah,
what would I say regarding this T20 World Cup is like I don't know, like Kohli performed okay very well in the IPL during the IPL. Uh, it's absolutely right. Like we all know that Rohit Sharma, I mean, he doesn't play very well exceptionally in IPL when you compare to international matches, right?
yeah,
So I mean, we can't judge Rohit Sharma on the basis of IPL performance. But coming
yeah,
to Virat, he was performing very well even during the IPL as well. I guess he has around like 12 fifties or couple of I don't remember,
yeah,
like around 750s and couple
yeah.
of centuries right, this season. Yeah,
He's been playing really well this year. Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't know, like maybe once post this World Cup, maybe we will be having one more IPL, right? Maybe there, even we have seen DK coming into picture at later at later time,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, maybe I feel like maybe this 2024 IPL would be the deciding factor for this
yeah,
both of them. Maybe if they perform exceptionally, I would say like maybe Virat and Rohit would be straight away going to T20 World Cup scheme of things. Maybe that would be their last World Cup. If they are going, that would be their last T20 World Cup. Maybe
yeah.
they, at that time, maybe they can slowly transform the entire T20 setup. What about the Test cricket? Like, what do
Uh,
you feel about Test cricket?
I don't know because maybe after this World Cup, both of them might be leaving one format or the other. Either they might leave the
Okay,
Test format or T20 format for once and all, because they
I would
can't be
feel.
playing three formats.
I feel like Virat Kohli would not be going to leave Test cricket. He
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
absolutely loves Test cricket. Yeah,
He might leave
T20, I guess.
T20 and maybe rest in the ODI formats like Sachin used to do from 2008 to 2011. Sachin used to like
Yeah,
take a lot of rest in the ODI series, but then he played the World Cup. So might
yeah,
be that Virat Kohli might do that.
yeah. Got it. So as we are discussing about the transition, right? So like, which player amazes you, or like, who is a player like you are more fascinated talking about the future of Indian cricket? Like,
I
who are
think
all the players? Like, yeah.
I think one player that I really want to watch is Shubman Gill.
Yeah, absolutely agree. He's a generational talent. I would
Yeah,
see him like he'll be going into the paths of Virat Kohli, like how we used to discuss like Virat Kohli is going through in the paths of Sachin Tendulkar, right? The
yeah,
one player who would come to my mind, like, okay, this player would be our next Virat Kohli.
yeah.
I would say absolutely that is Shubman Gill.
Yeah, I think he's one player, and then there's Umran Malik that I would like to watch, but there's still some development that needs to happen on his part where he has to like really learn like
Yeah,
line and length and like harness his pace even better.
yeah.
So yeah,
Uh, Coming to me, like I would say whatever you said, right? Like Shubman Gill, I would see him in a long run. Okay,
yeah,
Shubman Gill, he would be there for a long time. He would be there in Indian scheme of things for a long time. And
yeah,
the next thing I felt about Prithvi Shaw. So initially he was very good. Like he came into our test team, uh, like he straight away came into our test format
yeah,
scheme of things. He played few innings, but I don't know, like he completely at one point of time we used to talk like Prithvi Shaw is better than Shubman Gill. Like
yes.
we used to pick Prithvi Shah, we used to pick
Over
Prithvi
Shubman
Shah
Gill, yeah,
over Shubman Gill, but now if you see like that was completely changed. Even
yeah,
uh, even he was playing with Delhi Capitals, right? He was thrown out of the team for multiple times, and even the captain, who are the David Warner or like Ricky Ponting, they 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 don't have that confidence in him. I don't
yeah,
see like Prithvi Shaw would be the person like who would play for a long time or like who would be in Indian scheme of things. Uh, I would say like Ishan Kishan, he would play
yeah,
for a long period of time, and I would say Ruturaj Gaikwad as well. He would
yeah,
also play. I don't know, like that would it would be like I would say like we have seen Ambati Raidu or Sanju Samson. They would be coming into team, but they
yeah.
were not that consistent to play every match, right? I would see the same thing with Ruturaj Gaikwad as well. Maybe he would be playing few matches and like later chopping, and that would happen anyhow.
It
But
might be that when Rohit Sharma retires, he might get the chance then.
okay, yeah, that
Yeah,
would we need, yeah, that would also be a factor. Like maybe now the team is currently stick to Rohit Sharma, right? Maybe
yeah,
there is like that one slot, right, where you need to fill, right? It's a very tough to pick a player, right? I would
yeah,
say, but coming to players, what would I feel is like there are many young talents. Like uh, I would see like Prasidh Krishna playing Test in Australia. He's a very tall bowler and he's very skiddy. Uh, I would like to see like Prasidh Krishna in Australia. I don't know,
yeah.
like it fascinates me a lot. Like he's a very tall bowler. He'll shine the ball. He'll ball the very skiddy. So there are
Yeah,
many players like as you said, right? Maybe these kind of players needs to get groomed at the right
yeah.
phase of time.
I think a lot of people are still like
Shivam
getting.
Mavi, like there are many players. Yeah. The
Yeah, they are
main
still.
concern what I would feel is like if you talk about batsmen, I would say like we have a plenty of batsmen in our backlog. But if
Yeah,
you talk about bowlers, I don't see anyone in the list. Where where they are fully ready in order to take the place or something.
yeah. I think there are a lot of bowlers who have a lot of potential, but
Yeah,
they still a lot of development to be done.
yeah. I don't know, like maybe that would be the major concern going forward, like when this transition happens, right? I would see really a very big concern over our bowling department. And one more thing, the one I would see like many spinners in our country, like the way they chip in and they'll ball. We have seen many players like Akshar Patel, Pawan Negi.
Yeah,
Even we have utilized Kedar Jadhav as well. We have we have so many
yeah,
players with, but coming to bowling all rounders, this is a department where we are completely lagging. If you compare with other countries like England, they had
yeah.
Sam Curran, they have Tom Curran, even Chris Brooks bat really well.
We
If
only
you
have
talk about
Hardik. Yeah,
Even if you talk about Australia, they have multiple options. They have Mitchell Marsh, they have Cameron Green. In New Zealand used to have this Colin de Granholm.
yeah,
See, whatever. Even if you talk about West Indies, I'll accept they're completely going towards a decline phase. But if you talk about their all-rounders, they have Jason Holder, so they have
yeah,
multiple amount of options. But if you talk about India, we have only one person, that is Hardik Pandya. He
yeah,
can't he can't be the one person, right? Like where you can't rely on him, right? We need to get like more bowling all-rounders. I guess the only spot where you can get into team easily is the only spot that is bowling all-rounder.
yeah. I think that's one spot that if we nail it down, I think it would really help our team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even the people who are coming out, like maybe if they really wanted to get into cricket, the only position where we can fill currently is the bowling all
he's the bowling
department.
all. Yeah,
Yeah, if we pick batting, we have so many
yeah.
players. Like
Already there are so many players. Yeah,
yeah, the only concern here is like bowling. I could see this guy like Shivam Dube. I thought for a few days like
yeah,
maybe Shivam Dube would be the right person, but even he was not that consistent.
yeah. And
So
he
there were
doesn't
many
bowl
things.
anymore. Yeah,
Yeah, even if you talk about Venki Iyer was very good. Like he
yeah,
was I guess like even this season they utilized him only through batting, right? He didn't
yeah.
even bowl, right?
No, so what happened was he had an injury, so that's why he couldn't bowl. And even the KKR management doesn't have confidence in his bowling. They don't
Okay, but
use him a lot.
yeah, what whenever I see Venki Iyer, right? If me being a captain, I would straight away give my bowling to him to bowl him a couple of
Yeah,
overs. Like he's a very good bowler. Like maybe you can get him in middle overs and where you can have some game time, right? Like where you want to build pressure on the batsman, right? That
yeah,
kind of a player. Even I could see like Vijay Shankar like this season as well. Like he contributed a lot with batting. I
bat,
don't
yeah,
know like whether he didn't get a chance to bowl, but
yeah,
there are few players like maybe going forward we need to we need to groom a lot of players who bowl and who bat in the middle in
yeah,
the like lower order in at six or in at seven. This is a more like this is a department where India is currently failing. Like if you compare with other countries.
yeah, yeah. I just hope we get all this sort of problems addressed before the World Cup. That way, we could go into the World Cup and like really win it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I think we have covered everything that we wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been over an hour. So yeah, it
So
was
even
really
I don't know that. I just
yeah,
thought like maybe
yeah,
we could have some fun talk regarding cricket over like it's for
yeah,
like 30 to 40 minutes I thought, but yeah, we can.
yeah. Because you know that we watch a lot of cricket. We talk about it a
Yeah.
lot. So if you give us
Yeah.
30 minutes, we would be talking for an hour. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I think we should stop it here.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Cypress.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ricky.